Good gosh, look at that thing. We've made our way down the Delaware River just in time to tuck into an anchorage to wait out a massive thunderstorm that's taking over the local area. There aren't a lot of options as far as anchorages here. We're definitely not happy with how exposed we are in this one. We're in for it.
Hey babe, hey, come look at this. What? Come here.
Welcome to Lazy Gecko Sailing. I'm Brittany, and this is Jeremiah.
I came from the mud.
We've been sailing the world and filming it all for you.
Strong like a tree.
Now come along with us on our next adventure.
Oh, I've been wrong.
Make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss any of the fun.
Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
There's a boat out there. You see that guy? Look at these clouds. I'm getting tired of running from thunderstorms. Brittany wanted to come here. This is like every day. We've been doing this for weeks, it seems like. Because all through North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
France, and then we had a little break, and then here we go again.
They seem to get worse as the further north you go. And
Right.
now it's like 60 knot winds approaching.
Yeah. So we have 10 to 1 out. We're the only ones in this anchorage. This isn't where we really choose to be, but it's where we have to be. So, huge current here, 10 to 1 road, and the storm's moving in now. So, but the radar looks like it might be going more towards the north, which that would be correct here, it looks like, but the winds are starting to pick up.
We're gonna stay in one room, the three of us, furthest away from the mast. And then, you know, if we drag anchor, then we swing into action.
Yep. It's supposed to be 60-mile-an-hour winds. So far, luckily we have not seen that. But it's just started. Yeah, right now we're just looking at 28, 27. We've had a couple close calls. I'm fine with keeping them that way. I hope the anchor holds.
I don't know.
Dude, we came in, this huge storm was happening. Just took off after us. Boom. Close call.
These storms have been relentless. Here we are again. There's not much you can do in this position except hold on. This storm is coming in at about 20 knots, and we're expecting high winds, rain, and hail with it. We're anchored just in front of the beach, completely exposed to the southwest winds. How delightful.
38. What do you think?
Trying not to think.
Here comes the swell.
Gnarly.
Yeah, it's a little unsettling when you're on a boat out with just an anchor holding you. You know, there's all kinds of weather stuff that can happen. So it's a little worrisome, but all you gotta do is just sit back and try to prepare. What we do is we keep the engines ready to go. She keeps the headsets ready to go. And like if the anchor were to drag, I'd jump up, engines come on, and we start going forward, trying to ease that weight on the anchor, and then we'd have to try to reset it. Or just go freaking pull it up and go motor right through it. You know. Here comes the rain.
It was supposed to be rain with hail.
Yeah, you can see it's crazy up there. We were originally going to go up there and anchor. We were going to pull in early because of this. But we saw where it was and we talked about it and we decided then we can probably make it down here. Hopefully the worst of it passes to the north. It looks like it is. Big raindrops.
You know it's bad when you have your friends emailing you. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we have friends that got hit by the storm in their house. They put their boat in the hard in Puerto Rico and they just flew back. And they email us like, hey, hunker down, this thing just hit us.
Well, the boat's getting washed.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
I try to be as positive as I can. What else can you do? So far, the storm has just brought wind, but now here comes the rain.
It's just rain, that'd be great. Wind's going down to 28 right now, that's great. They were 26 when we pulled in. Just saying, just 26. Here we go. Unless we're getting a bath now.
It's like a cloud of gray.
Woo. $31.
I don't want to reset. Let's just motor through it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Imagine who's trying to reset up
No,
there.
this anchorage is a little tricky too because it goes from 10 feet to 1 foot. So I had to go in as far as I could and guesstimate what 100 feet plus 44 would be going over there. And the current was like 2.5 knots pulling us sideways. So I wasn't able to like go over and see exactly where it was. So.
Well, at least the stern's facing the beach and not the jetty anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a jetty right there. Over there, there's a whole jetty. So we're facing this way, we're been blowing towards the beach. You know, I mean, I guess worst came to worst, we just get blown up on the beach, right?
Yeah.
Unless a tornado flipped us over. But that's what I do is make sure all the hatches are closed. The boat will stay afloat for a long time upside down if you have all your hatches closed. I like to try to watch and prepare, but
It's kind of hard to see. Everything just went gray.
yeah. It looks like we're going forward.
Really?
Yeah, because like the sea's coming towards us
Oh.
and we're bouncing.
There isn't any
Here,
wind.
I'm gonna check the. Don't jinx this. Check the anchor alarm.
After so many years in the Marine Corps, he has this thing. I guess he saw it happen a lot, you know, where you say it and then it comes true. So he's always saying, "Don't jinx us." So I'm always like, "I'm not talking or saying anything."
We try to put all of our. I don't know if it works or not, but we put all of our laptops and hard drives and stuff like that in the microwave. I don't know. I do know that whenever I put my phone in there and I shut it, immediately it has no service. So maybe it does work. You know, if you were to suffer some type of electrical event without saying it, maybe it does protect it. I don't know. But I have her phone's in there right now. Mine's out because it's the anchor alarm.
Crazy. Weird feeling being out here all alone, not attached to anything
We're about
besides the
halfway
ground.
through the main band. Sorry. I think we're like halfway through. Remember that one time when
2.5 miles north of Rosewood, Delaware Bay, west side, Bartow Beach. Officer service entry request to keep a sharp lookout. This is possible for all sites United Coast Guard. Sign command United States Coast Guard, Delaware Bay, break. This is United States Coast Guard, Delaware Bay, out.
The Coast Guard comes across every, seems like 5 minutes and gives like an update.
this is the anchor alarm. So as you can see, that's the anchor there, right in the middle. And you just set like a circumference, and then you swing all in there. But that's where we set. You can see right there.
Coast Guard, Delaware Bay, channel 150.
And then as the storm came, that's us swinging, and that's where we are now. What you don't want is to get more distance from the anchor.
You get up above Cape Hatteras, the hurricane line that your insurance sets, our insurance anyways, to get away from the hurricanes, and we run into thunderstorms with hurricane winds.
Ah.
Right? Insurance doesn't have a problem with that. They actually gave us a refund for getting above Cape Hatteras. Little did they know, the winds are just as bad.
Yeah. No, I don't know about just that. But
No.
yeah. You're definitely doing some. I don't like the lightning storm thing. With a big metal thing sticking, I don't like it.
I don't think anybody does.
So once we have lightning, we go inside. Not worth it. We are hunkering in here. Oh, and all the freaking hatches are open. Exactly what it shouldn't be. Just these two, right?
Yeah.
All right. We try to stay away from the mast, the front rooms. Yeah, I think we might be just dragging a little bit. The front room is near the mast, obviously, and the other room has a huge pole sticking up from the arch. Yeah, we're dragging. You can feel it, like whenever the boat starts to drag, it almost feels like you slipped, you know, because the boat moves underneath of you. And usually you don't feel it like backwards.
What do you think if we made a full circle then wouldn't it take the anchor out?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. And the way the Rocklands and all these anchors are designed is that it would just drag around and dig in, as the term. But if you do like a really tight surf, I mean, obviously it can happen. It does happen.
Should have dropped 2 anchors for this one.
Yeah.
That is something we have the option of doing, dropping 2 anchors.
Yeah, but then, you know, they get all tangled and crap.
If it was like a situation where it was a hurricane.
I wouldn't be on the boat.
Ah.
The boat would be on the ground in a marina, and I certainly wouldn't be on it. Those are big ass swells.
Yeah. What does the storm look like on radar now?
Let's take a look.
I'm so hot.
Yeah, so the main part looks like it's passing. That's what it just went. So we're like, so see above us.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, we just have this stuff coming, but if it's not red, I'm okay with that. Ooh, it is hot. Let's open this up. We're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, there's lightning over that way.
That's good. That's the way it's going.
That way.
Yeah, that's the south part. And we're at the south part. So I think we're getting the very end of it, which is good. Like the bottom, the southern tip of it.
You know what blows my mind?
What?
When I see little like John boats hauling butt to get back when there's a massive storm coming. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I seem to always see that.
83 Marine 1, that's his Coast Guard, alien channel 16 over. 83 Marine 1 is Coast Guard. Are you on scene with the kayak, over?
A kayak overturned somewhere in this river.
Whether it's just one that wasn't being used and blew away, or if somebody was kayaking in this. I hope not. I hate hearing that stuff come across the radio. It's really upsetting because you don't want anybody to get hurt, and I know what it's like out here because I'm out here, and I can only imagine what it would be like for somebody in a kayak. But hopefully it's nothing. Might have just flown off a sailboat that wasn't, you know, batting down. Winds are dying down, so that's, you know, a plus.
I mean, the storm's passing, like it went over us, and the main part's over there. It's basically swung us around this way. The current was coming from the south, so it's pushing us back that way. Now I don't know where it's coming from. So, but I'd rather be pushed towards the beach than the jetty.
I second that motion. Well, I am fully prepared. You're not.
I know, it's good. I'm glad you like that. I mean, if you're going up on the bow and something happens, that's a good idea for you to be like that.
So I have my weather jacket on. It's meant for this type of stuff. It's not like meant for hardcore sailing or anything. It's meant for more like this. Rain, storms, that type of thing. I have it over my bikini because I was relaxing in my bikini, and then this all just came to fruition quickly and had to get stuff done. Got my harness on, and then I have a tether in case I have to go up there. Headset. We were starting to loop around our anchor, so in case I have to go up there, I wanted to be prepared even if it's not a crazy storm at that moment. The swell and the seas around us are pretty gnarly still, and it's not worth trying to take a swim in that without your life vest. Well, the storm went well at the anchorage, but afterwards the swell picked up and ended up on our beam, so we were like in 6-foot swells on our beam. We were only anchored at 10 feet, so you can imagine when the swell dips down, that becomes dangerous. We ended up having to pull anchor, which was pretty intense for me. That's my first time pulling anchor where the waves were breaking over the bow. So that was nice, but we did it. Anchor was super tight. I lacked a little bit of confidence, not thinking we'd be able to do it, but we did, and we're headed across the bay about 12 miles south. So we're going trucking back, but that's okay because it's already calmer weather and we're gonna be anchoring in the dark at hopefully calmer anchorage. I think we're pretty beat up, tired. You have no words.
No. You said it all, honey. You said it well.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
gonna navigate through a little area where there's some breakers on one side, breakwater on the other side. So Brittany's gonna go up to the bow and use the spotlight to kind of highlight everything. We talk on headsets, and then I use 2 different chart plotters that are separate from one another, so I can kind of compare them, make sure we're in the right spot, and then she'll be the eyes up front. So we'll take it slow and we'll just scooch on in there and hopefully find a nice, relaxing, calm anchorage. And I'm sleeping in the morning.
Me too.
As we motored across the bay, I sat on the bow with a spotlight to watch for numerous lobster traps that could snag the props on Calypso, which could leave us drifting without power at night near an inlet with reefs. You get the picture. After a few hours, we used the radar to round the jetty and pull into a dark anchorage. It was calm and perfect. I prepped to deploy the anchor. You have no idea how happy we are to be here. We've been going since about 6 a.m. Right now, it's 2 a.m. I'm gonna get this baby wet and set.
Amazing feeling being anchored sometimes. Oh my goodness. You happy to be anchored?
Man, in like, you know, not 6-foot seas. Yeah.
Yeah, could you imagine, like a lot of cruisers say they don't need headsets, but could you imagine doing this at night without your headset?
No, I've seen a lot of people like, oh, you know, you could do hand and arm signals, and yeah, you absolutely can, but we've done a lot of like tonight, we couldn't help it. We had to move. It was unsafe. So what do you do at night? I mean, I guess you could have the spreader on the whole time, but
Scream at each other.
And screaming, but no, the headsets are great, man. This thing kills my ear. Every once in a while, they don't work. They don't pair.
I know.
But and usually at the wrong time. Like, oh, we need them quick. But and this thing really, does it hurt your ear?
Yeah, I was just, when I was sitting up there, I was like, man, we should really replace the foam on these things.
Yeah, but just being able to talk to each other is huge, especially at night, coming into an anchorage.
All right, let's go to bed.
Okay.
Coming up on the Lazy Geckos.
Wildwood, New Jersey boardwalk. Is this normal?
Well, today's the big day. I'm excited to get to the boat today and move on.
I have an hour left on my watch.
I'm passing by Calypso, North Carolina.
Here we go. This piece of broken.
Luck on your first cruising adventure.
Ah, thank you.
Got an Uber to get some groceries and we saw this cute little bar to stop at.
You're doing a great job there, honey.
Thank you. Back door entrance.
Oh, I guess you can go to the bathroom.
You ready for this?
No.
We're passing Billy Joel's estate.
If it lets loose, it's gonna probably plummet into our boat.
They were under the bow already. VHF antenna firmly mounted. It's all burned up in here.
I guess we won't be leaving early without a radar.
Oh, there's everything so small I can't freaking read it. Can't even really see the top at all. Like right in front of us, it's gone.
Don't take me back! You can't take me back!
I'm gonna turn north and probably put out the head sail.
It's nice and smooth.
It's lit.
Oh, victory! Our radar's been giving us trouble. Have a good time with it.
For your butt. Put it right under your butt.
Yucky day to come back into New York.
What do you think?
About what? Oh, you want to just take a shot?
Lovely.
Want more? Check us out at lazygeckos.net. Remember, patrons can get complimentary access. You can also visit our Vimeo channel. The link is below. Don't forget to click subscribe to get all of the fun. See you next week.